Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody has a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragonsjewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan, and I'm just going to get all that wonderful YouTubey stuff out of the way first. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. It's just down below. If you like the content that you see, don't forget to give it a like. And of course, any love, comment, suggestion, all those wonderful things, there's that comment section down there as well. Today we are doing a good old whip and chat, and that just means that I am working on a work in progress, which is what WIP stands for. And for me, that is usually a diamond painting. So I have my panda in the pastry shop here from L'Essentiel de P. It has been so much fun to work on all these bright colors, the crystals, the ABs. It's just been a lot of fun, and it has been going along really quickly. I'm already down on, I think it's like my third row here. So super quick. So I'm going to catch everybody up on my last 2 weeks. Make sure you have a beverage. I have my coffee happening. I've had a very busy morning already. It's lunchtime, it's noon, but I'm gonna get this filmed and everything before my hubby gets home from work. And my little man is off with his grandpa, my stepdad, for a boys' overnight because my mom is currently in Nova Scotia, which we'll be headed to soon. But we'll get to all that wonderful stuff. That's some good English. I'm going to dive in to the diamond painting. Oh, and apparently drop my pen right on my drills and mess them up. Off to a good start. Yeah, off to a very good start. I had this so nicely organized too. Oh well. I don't know how many, I do that at least a diamond painting session where it just drops my pen right onto my tray of drills and scatter them. I blame my carpal tunnel for that, of course, because I never used to do that. I never used to drop things nearly as much as I do now because my hand's gone numb or has like minimal feeling to it. Yeah, driving today, earlier this morning, my hand was trying to go numb on me, so yeah, that's why I'm blaming my carpal tunnel right now, because it's been acting up a little bit today. I think I need to top up my putty here on there. That wasn't picking up the drill very nicely. Anyways, so we'll go back our 2 weeks here. I'm going off on my own little side ramble here. I apologize. Going back 2 weeks brings us to pretty much the beginning of June 7th. Things have been super busy. I've been super tired. Yeah. So the 10th was a Monday. Our weekend, our weekend was a weekend. There wasn't anything too exciting, I don't think, that happened that weekend. I think my mom was already gone. I don't know. Or just got back, I don't know. She comes and goes, and I'm losing track of her own little travel schedules because she's been out in Nova Scotia with selling the cottage and all of that, and her and my stepdad spent time out there. Then she came back, and now she's back out there again with one of her girlfriends, and they're doing hiking and all of that wonderful stuff. Just having a blast out there together, having some ladies' time. So yeah, and then of course we go out and join her out there right away. But anyways, back to Monday the 10th. Oh, I cannot focus apparently. Let's take a sip of coffee here. Take a sip of coffee, focus myself, I can do this. Yes, the 10th, which was a Monday, was an IPP day, which is the individual personalized plan for schools. It's kind of like essentially like a virtual report card for my son, who is currently in the individual services program. His report cards are very different than getting like an A, B, C, or D, or something to that effect. It's mainly ends up being what he's worked on throughout the year and where he's at. It's more of that kind of a thing for him. So yeah, his teachers quite thrilled. They said he's come a long way this school year with just his attention and sitting still and listening to directions, all those wonderful things. He's loves helping out in the classroom, I guess. Everything from helping other students put their lunches away to their cubbies, and helping kind of sweep and clean up the classroom with the teachers. And so he's just been doing really, really, really good. They praised him with his oral foods, stuff that he's been doing, his interest in food and willingness to try all the different foods. So yeah, they've been quite happy, bragged. They feel like he's really going to be ready for the next program, which is a step up, and it will be a little bit more challenging for him. And they call that one CLS, which is Community Learning Services, and that's just kind of a step up from the one that he's currently in. The disabilities in that one and delays are more of a moderate to mild scale, which is whereas the program he was in this year is more of a severe to moderate, or moderate to severe kind of delays. So this next one just kind of challenges him that much more to focus on those writing skills, those learning colors and all of that, like more of a scheduled, kind of normalized school classroom program. They'll still take all of his needs into accountability, so I mean they'll still be working quite a bit with his AAC device and his speech, and kind of getting him, so that may be one day, which I think will happen, where he'll end up in an actual class, like an actual classroom setting without having to worry about much of anything. He'll be kind of on par where he should be, focusing on what he should be, that sort of thing. But yeah, so he'll be changing programs and schools next year, but his IPP went really well. Like I said, they kind of took it as a bragging moment about how far he's come from the beginning of the year to where he's at now. They're super excited for him. They said they'll of course miss him, and they absolutely love having him in their program, but at the same time they don't like holding kids back who are ready to kind of move forward, and they really feel like he's ready to move forward. So it was a very, very positive IPP, and while I don't like the idea of switching schools again, because we haven't really been stable at a school, and I haven't really gotten to know anybody in the schools because of it, because it takes a while. Yeah, so here's hoping this will be a little bit of a longer term setting, but I don't know because it's still not his designated school. So if he progresses really well, which is also a really good thing, then he could end up in his designated school sooner than we expect him to as well. So who knows? But yeah, so I had that on the 10th, and then I had a pretty kind of normalized week of just getting things done in and around the house, all that good, wonderful stuff. Didn't really have anything crazy going on. Came around to the 15th, which was a weekend, which I guess I could say, oh my goodness, words, I know them. I should say my hubby ended up actually, he was not thrilled, he was not happy, but he ended up getting called into work a mini shutdown, so he's actually been working non-stop most of these 2 weeks here. Yeah, and so his hours got extended, so he had to go in. I think and he ended up having to go in like maybe half an hour later, but then he would have to work an hour later. I can't even remember, but basically he ended up working longer days, longer shifts, so to speak, and he was only supposed to be working 6 days and having the Sunday off, but then they told everybody that they had to work that Sunday. So yeah, he's been working non-stop, doing this little mini shutdown here. So I've pretty much been booting along doing the single parenting thing, making sure he has dinner when he gets home. We only get to see him by the time he gets home from his job, because it's also a 45-minute commute back and forth for him to work. I think we've only got to see him in the evenings for about maybe 2 hours. Probably closer to an hour and a half by the time, he actually gets home, showers, that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's been busy, busy, busy. He unfortunately missed some things that he was really looking forward to for that weekend because he had to work it. And we were signed up for that. If you're not new to my channel, you've heard me talk about this last year. If you're new to my channel, we did this last year, but it's an event called Racing for a Cure. It's put on by our local children's hospital, the Stollery, and it is a really wonderful event. It's really well organized. What it does is it raises money specifically for kids with cancer. So they kind of focus on one part of the children's hospital and one of the many reasons it's used. Obviously, they do so much more at that children's hospital. We're huge advocates for it. We've used their services with our little guy as well, ever since he was in the NICU onward. But yeah, it's all pediatric surgeons for hearts and like trachs and everything that a kid needs, basically. It's that kind of a hospital. They are a wonderful, wonderful organization. But they put on this event anyways, and they reach out to Stollery families, so kids who have used the Stollery in the past or are currently using it, and they sign up, a bunch of them with VIP passes, and then they organize this whole event, and there's a little bit of public too kind of comes in, shuffles in. They can do some donations and stuff as well. They have tons of exotic luxury sports cars and kind of unique both American muscle and European muscle cars. And the VIP pass allows any of those families with children who have the pass to ride as many of them as they want throughout the day. And then they also have access to one helicopter ride as well, which they've got 3 helicopters for that they set up, and then you go up for about, I think it's like 10-15 minutes runs. Same thing when you go for a little ride in one of the cars. It's about a 10-15 minute kind of drive around. The thing about these cars is these cars are offered for this event, and a driver comes. The person who owns the vehicle obviously is the driver, or if it's like a car dealership or something, or like a race, whatever, like that kind of a company, then obviously they assign a driver that they trust. But for the most part, it's these people actually own these vehicles, and so they're driving it. They're opening up the vehicle to allow kids and families to take rides in, and they have everything from 1-seaters to 4-seaters. Pretty much any exotic sports car you can think of, Lamborghinis, Mercedes, Corvettes, BMWs, so many. Even ones you probably haven't even heard of. But they do that as well. And then they also have a bunch of, like a bunch of police vehicles that they brought out. That's like a racing style that they've done up that have a roll cage and all of that, and so they set those up as well, and the kids can go sit in those. The helicopter to the kids' hospital is set up with oversized stuffies in it, and the kids can sit and take pictures in that. They set up bouncy castles and rock climbing walls and this weird ball ride thing that you kind of jump in, like a trampoline almost, and get flung up in the air. So they've got a bunch of like little rides and kind of entertainment things for kids as well. They have this big oversized semi-truck with a crane on the back that kids can go up and sit in. Then they've got a hot dog food truck that comes out, and I think the other one was a Korean barbecue one for food on site. The casino came out with some cinnamon bannock maple ice cream that they handed out to the Stollery families for free, so they have tons of stuff going on. We did the helicopter ride first. My hubby, of course, unfortunately had to work, so he missed the event, but my stepdad was able to come in his kind of place and be an extra set of hands for me, which comes in handy when it comes to lineups and keeping that kid under wraps. And then if I have to sneak away for like a quick bathroom break or something, I've got a pair of eyes on him. That kind of thing. So definitely handy to have an extra set of hands there. So he came with, and we did the helicopter ride first. As last year, the year before, we did the cars first and then the helicopter, and we were in that helicopter line forever. And we only got to go on one car. And then it was pretty much like our little guy, he was more than done with the day at that point, because it had been so long. And I mean, he did the bouncy castle and all of that as well, and checked out the other stuff, but he was more than ready to go by that point. So decided to switch it up this year to the helicopter first. That worked out way better, because we ended up being in one of the first 3 that went up. So we were done it super quick, and we're ready to move on to enjoy the rest of it. We got off the helicopter and took a ride in a 1929 Ford Model A. Old classic. Original, like, horn, everything. And I even had the back rumble seat, which was a blast. That's the, my stepdad sat up front with the driver and the little guy in his lap, and then I rode in the rumble seat. So yeah, that was quite a blast going around with that. Got a little spin in that baby. And then, yeah, I think at that point we were ready to break for the little man's feed and some food for ourselves as well by that point. And then once we were done that, we moved along to the next activity, which, what was the next one that we did? Oh, we did the Dodge Hellcat. Yes. A car that I have absolutely loved for quite some time. I've loved Dodge in general. A lot of their kind of sporty vehicles. The Challenger is another one that's a really kind of fun, very strong, heavy horsepower to them. But yeah, so we got a ride in the Dodge Hellcat. We always put the little guy up front, let him have kind of, because he's the reason we're there, and the main reason we got these VIP passes. So we always let him experience the front seat. So me and the stepdad sat in the back seat. He enjoyed that one. We got our little spin around in that. Then I think, was it in between that one or? Yeah, we did a spin in that one, and I can't even remember. But we did so much that day. But yeah, we got a spin in that one. That one was lots of fun. Driver, very, very nice guy. All the drivers were really, really good, I think. But yeah, so they kind of chit-chat a bit with us and drive, and if they're really enthusiasts about their vehicle, then they kind of let us know kind of how much horsepower, what's the most expensive thing on it, that kind of thing, and tell you a little bit about the vehicle sometimes. Some just kind of let you enjoy the experience and ride around. But either way, it's lots and lots of fun, so we did that. That was Dodge Hellcat. He kind of did a little bit of the speed up, slow down when he could. And the high-pitched, it's like a high-pitched screech that it makes when it goes into full power. So definitely Hellcat is, like, honestly the perfect name for a vehicle like that, that makes that sound. But yeah, you could hear, I think that one had, what was it, he said 800 horsepower in that engine. So very, very powerful vehicle for sure. And what else? Then we got a ride in a Mercedes G-Wagon, which is almost kind of like a SUV Jeep crossover style thing. Very, very luxurious and fancy. Our driver for that was a lady, and that one was probably the funnest ride that we did all day. We ended up behind a McLaren for that one, who was the lead car, and they just had fun out on the road. They did quite a bit of zooming around, speeding up, taking a couple of sharp corners at a speed just to kind of have fun. That little man had the biggest grin. When it revved up, it was quite a noisy one, that one. Yeah, it was, he enjoyed that one, and of course, every time she looked over, he had the biggest grin on his face, and she's like, oh my god, his grin is just making my day. You know, so she was having fun with us as passengers, of course, as well. And then the funny part is, as we were headed back to, it all takes place at our River Creek Casino, which is one of our casinos in the area, and it's all in their big parking lot. And as we were on our way back, we were at the light with the McLaren in front of us, and this rusty old truck pulls up to the red light, surrounded by all these like luxurious sports cars and vehicles, and decides to rev his engine. And at this point, me and the driver in the Mercedes are just killing ourselves laughing. Like, it was just too perfect. This rusty old truck revving its engine like it's one of them kind of thing. It was a blast anyways. So we had lots of fun in that one. And then our last ride of the day, we ended up in a Lamborghini Urus. And that one was another very kind of strong, powerful vehicle. It was very, very nice. So yeah, we got in 4 sports cars, 4 luxury vehicles, going with the helicopter first. My little guy did have lots of excitement running around and did kind of take a little tumble onto the pavement, and he ended up scraping up 2 of his fingers and his knee and part of his cheek in the tumble. But all in all, he had a great day. He was super busy. He ended up passing out on, the poor guy ended up passing out on the couch during his last feed. He was so tired. But yeah, so we had that event. That was lots of fun. That was pretty much our weekend. It's too bad the hubby had to miss it, because he would have loved all of that, of course. I know he really would have preferred to have been there rather than working, but you do what you do. Yeah, and then what else? Then we went into our following week and had, on the 17th, OT lady who works on toileting and the food. She came out on Monday from Specialized Services and worked with our little man right around dinner time. Gave him a plate full of stuff to explore and try, and she was absolutely thrilled with being able to hear the crunch of the celery and things that he hasn't really been able to show her the last couple of times, or at least that he's progressed with. So she was happy about that. Quite happy, quite impressed with him. That went well, of course. And then Tuesday I had my absolute favorite, and I say that with full sarcasm. I really wish there was a way we didn't have to do these kind of appointments, but dental. Yep, I had a dental appointment. It wasn't anything major, it was just taking some updated pictures, doing a cleaning, and of course just seeing how everything was, making sure, you know, there are no issues, normal dental things, but still not my favorite. I would rather have been at home diamond painting or doing anything else, really. Heck, I would have gone grocery shopping instead. Anything but dental. Definitely not a fan of dental appointments. Got that anyways over and done with for the next 6 months at least. Before I have to go back for, you know, another standard one. Yeah. That was... Yes, and then today, which is Thursday, which is the day I'm filming this on, this morning, we went to my little man's follow-up for his surgery. So we saw his surgeon. She checked out the back of his head and his stitches and the healing. Everything looks great. She's quite pleased with how everything's looking. It's still healing a little bit, but he's cleared for his normal activities, and he's able to wear hats and all of that. There's a little bit of crustiness from the healing, so she said we can kind of just take a soft cloth and gently exfoliate kind of the area, and that'll help the rest of what's left of the stitches kind of dissolve as well. Get rid of some of that dry crustiness from the healing as well, and just kind of help keep it moisturized and all that good stuff. And then now our next follow-up with her will be in 6 months time, and at that time we'll see if there's been any stretching, if we're looking at a third surgery or not, or if we decide we're happy with where things are at and the way it's looking and figure he doesn't need any more. We're both kind of thinking there'll be a third, but that'll probably be the last, and that'll just be a minor one. There could potentially be a fourth if it stretches too much, and then we have to go in and do the second spot as a fourth surgery kind of thing, because they won't work on both at the same time. They'll only work on one. So yeah, basically if there's not stretching and we're happy with the way it looks, then we can just go in and do that third little smaller one, or we'll have to go into that main one last time and then do the small one. So either way, 1 to 2 more, I guess, which is not always what you want to hear, but I mean, I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, so while I was driving to that appointment, I ended up getting a text from my hubby at the same time. Apparently he has this full weekend off. We thought he was going to have to work at least the Friday, Saturday, and there's a little mini shutdown, but no, they actually got told they have the full weekend, so super excited about that, super happy. That means we can kind of enjoy our weekend. So yeah, definitely loving that. So yeah, that's kind of been my 2 weeks. Busy, lots going on, lots of appointments, so many appointments. Oh my god, appointments are just up the wazoo, it seems, these days. I will be happy if I don't have an appointment anytime soon. That being said, though, there's still lots going on. There's always the channel stuff. And with channel stuff, I have my little folder of goodies. I still have tons of unboxings to get out from that folder. I think I have 1 or 2 small shops. They are shops that I think I have showcased before, but have bought from again, because I gotta say, I have my favorite shops, I do. Or there are shops that are definitely I go back to because I love the quality of certain things in those shops. So yeah, there's I think 1 or 2 more of those. Then I believe I still have a post review that I have filmed and need to get out. My Ghostly Echo series now. Let's talk about that for a little bit. There is Alberta, which I just finished up. That's the province that I reside in. So that one is completely finished. I told all the stories that I have and know from them. So I have moved west to my neighbor province, which is British Columbia, also known as BC. And that one, I ended up receiving some feedback from a viewer who likes to look up locations. And I know all the stories do tell the locations within the story as I read it, but what I've done this time, which I would love to know feedback on, if you liked it, where it was placed, if it makes sense to you, that kind of thing. But at the very, very beginning, in kind of my introduction part, before I even start getting into all the stories, I have, I missed 3. I have a little map that I've put up briefly of Canada, and then I've just kind of circled the province that we are discussing. So right now we're working on BC, so I have BC circled so you can see which province in Canada is BC. At that map, so you know that's where all the stories are going to be taking place in that larger area. Then before I go into the story title, I've kind of said this story takes place wherever in British Columbia it takes place. And then I say the story title and go into the story. So, well, yes, the story does mention it. I've kind of put it out there and kind of give multiple avenues for where they are located. So now, if you're the type of person who does like to look it up, or you're curious, I wonder where Victoria, BC is, you can look that up. And I hope that that system has made it just a little bit easier for people that like to do that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely would love feedback on that. If you follow that series, definitely let me know. Of course, I have a new thumbnail so that it kind of stands a little bit separately from the Alberta ghost stories, but it's still called Ghostly Echoes, so still keeping it with the series with a new thumbnail, ways for it to kind of stand out. I've added those couple little additions, so I hope everybody likes that and those and whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. That and those and things and that. Oh boy. Let's move on past that now. Oh, that's Ghostly Echoes. Yeah. Also, I have a Facebook group for viewers of the channel. That is a way for all of us to just kind of be interactive with each other outside of the channel. So come join us over there. Share your work in progresses. Share those crafty projects. Ask any questions. If you have a tip and trick that you've come across that you think, well, maybe nobody else has come across this, or, you know, I wish I knew this when I first started kind of thing, definitely share all of that. We'd love to have you over there. In fact, we would like to see that little community grow. It's even smaller than the channel at the moment, so yeah, definitely want to see that kind of come out, enjoy, get to know some other people on the channel, get to know me. I hang out there. I won't be posting nearly as many work in progresses as everybody else because, of course, you see quite a bit of that over on my Instagram and on the channel when I do these wip and chats. You kind of see the canvases that I'm working on. But I have been trying to sneak in at least one of the project that I'm currently working on. So yes, this one is featured once, and it shows it when I kind of more towards the start of it. That kind of thing. Sometimes you might know what I'm working on a little bit sooner than the channel, but for the most part, I try to kind of keep the channel as the first avenue for all of that. So yeah, join us over there. That's all linked up down below. Personal stuff coming up that does affect the channel, obviously, is going to be my vacation that's upcoming. We are going on a family vacation here on the 27th of June. And we're going to be gone till July 6th. So we're gone for about, I think that's a total of 10 days. We are flying to Nova Scotia as a family vacation. Me, the hubby, and the little man. We're meeting my mom out there. She's already out there, as I had mentioned, with a girlfriend of hers doing some hiking and stuff like that. She's sold her cottage. So it's going over to a new owner right away. So this is really kind of our last time to enjoy it. Yeah, so we're going to do that. We're flying out there on Thursday the 27th. And what that means for the channel, I'm still going to make sure you guys have videos. You don't have to worry about that. However, the first Friday is a Ghostly Echoes one. I'm still going to do my best to get that out. I have to obviously film that and get that going, but I'm going to do my best to give you that episode for that Friday because I can get that kind of recorded, edit that up, and schedule it out without any crazy issues. However, the following Friday will still be away in Nova Scotia, and that would normally be a wip and chat. So unfortunately, that one won't be a wip and chat that Friday. Obviously, as I won't be filming out there and editing videos and posting them from Nova Scotia. Sorry, just not going to do that. Going to take a little bit of a break. I will instead schedule in one of the unboxings or post-review or small shop or something in place of that. One of the other videos that I have. So you'll still get a video, it just won't be a wip and chat. And then when I come back on the 6th, which I think is a Saturday, things will get back to normal for the channel. And so then what I'll do that first Friday that I'm back is when I'll do a wip and chat. So then I'll do kind of that next wip and chat. So yes, that'll also kind of push back the Ghostly Echo series, as normally that would be the Friday that Ghostly Echoes would come out, but instead I'm going to give you that wip and chat. That'll be a great chance for me to kind of catch everybody up, tell a little bit about the vacation, how it went, that sort of thing, and then just kind of get back into the swing of things again. Yeah, so that, like I said, being away will affect the channel a little bit, but not too much. You'll still get tons of videos. I probably won't be doing a ton of responding to comments and stuff like that on YouTube, or maybe not even in the Facebook group really, just because I'll be away. My internet access will, because I'm out at the cottage, there won't really be internet access. I'll be working with the data on my phone, so I probably won't do a ton of that until I get back. So I'll be pretty quiet in that sense, but don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be back up and running the moment I get back and catch up and all that good stuff, and you'll still have videos to keep you occupied in the meantime. So not a whole bunch will change, just a little. You'll survive, I'll survive, we'll all survive. And then hopefully I'll have some fun kind of stories to update everybody up on. Because the fun part about this trip is, if nobody knows, I absolutely love Nova Scotia. It's one of my absolute favorite places in Canada to visit. I call it my happy place, being by the ocean, by the water. Just, I find it really calming, really peaceful, very grounding for me. So I just really love being out there. I feel at peace when I'm out there, really, which is why I call it my happy place. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with the little man, seeing it from his eyes, because it'll be his first time going that far from home. It'll also be his first time going on an airplane. So yeah, lots of new firsts and exciting firsts for him, as well as me being somewhere I love, spending time with the ones I love too, of course. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I think that is about it for this whip and chat. We will, yeah. I'm just going to do these last 4 drills that I noticed I missed. I was chatting and I'm missing drills, guys. I'm usually better than that. I can usually multitask a little bit better, but today, I don't know. Words, multitasking, doing things, being, functioning and coherent. Not happening very well today. Anyways, that is it. I hope to see everybody in the next video with something new, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.